Hello, everyone. Welcome to an emergency update. The U.S. has just attacked Iran, the U.S. and Israel, and maybe some allies that we don't yet know. Have just launched a full-scale attack on Iran, and this is likely to affect the market. Not just likely, this is going to really change the game of play for the financial markets as early as of Monday when we have the pre-market. So what does this war, quote and unquote, actually mean? The war on Iran. But basically, we need to actually maybe unpack a few things that we know and why we should actually perhaps maybe brace for impact in terms of the market going very negative on Monday. Oil prices might actually escalate towards the upside. Natural gas and every other petroleum product is likely going to accelerate. But let's quickly unpack what we already know. What we know is that the U.S. Has launched, a barrage of missile airstrikes against Iran across major cities in Tehran, in Isfahan, in Qom, and so many other locations across Iran. We've seen videos, clips, and so many other, maybe devastating pictures showing up. A whole lot of people in Iran are also reporting that these attacks are directly against the authorities in Iran. We've also seen statements from President Trump, who made an announcement, a live TV announcement that this is actually a major action to stop Iran from producing or having the capability for nuclear weapon, and also Iran from having dangerous weapons that can actually attack the US directly. We also noticed and we noted a few weeks ago this negotiation started, and the negotiation has actually collapsed. They could not agree on the terms of the Iranian nuclear arsenal, nuclear enrichment, and also this has broken down, and now we are where we are. Yesterday, the U.S. ambassador to Israel, actually issued a warning that everyone who needs to leave Israel should actually leave. And we also heard Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of State for the heading the Department of War, actually went to Israel yesterday. And this early hours of this morning in Iran, we've seen these explosions, these missile attacks. We have also heard and we've noted a whole lot of attacks across Bahrain, a whole lot of attacks across the Middle East in terms of all the major locations where the U.S. has is missile base, where the U.S. actually has military bases. We haven't heard anything about the Saudi Arabian military base of the U.S., but we've heard that there's been an explosion in Qatar, there's been an explosion in Bahrain. We don't know if Iran is going to be targeting the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which perhaps might actually further escalate this. Based on what the statement that we unpacked from President Trump, we've seen that this move by the US might actually be moving towards a regime change, might actually looking to displace the authorities in Iran. President Trump also said in that statement that members of the Iranian military, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, should actually lay down their weapon, and they will be pardoned and they will be given full immunity. But if they don't lay down their weapons, they might actually, meet their untimely end. He also noted that everyone in Iran should be in shelter, that this operation is going to be fast and quick, and they will be able to actually dismantle the authorities in Tehran, or Iran by extension. Now, that's what we've unpacked currently. This is a developing story. This is a developing crisis, conflict that is perhaps going to last weeks or even months. We don't necessarily know how far this is going. We couldn't show you all these clips because these clips are not necessarily good, and also just for the sensibilities, and to also be a bit more measured. But as investors in the global financial markets, what should we expect? Number one, we expect defense stocks, companies, defense contractors working with the US, from Boeing to Airbus to Palantir to Raytheon to Northrop Grumman. All of the major defense companies could actually see a huge bump in their stock price. The markets has really pulled back early this year from January to date, but we expect these defense companies to see a major bump in their stocks going forward, at least for the next couple of days and weeks. If this crisis is not de-escalated, there might be a de-escalation, but this is an all-out crisis that might actually not see any de-escalation in the first 1 week, but we actually want this to be de-escalated even now, as early as possible, instead of this becoming a full-scale war. That is what everyone will wish for. No one actually wants loss of lives, loss of human lives and property, but this is actually happening, and we can only hope that this will be de-escalated and called off. But as it is, defense companies will actually be very, very busy. Defense contractors working with the US. We saw what happened with Entropic yesterday. The US has actually sanctioned Entropic, and OpenAI has stepped in. So we assume that the likes of Palantir and OpenAI, their software and their AI large language model are being used in this operation, because Palantir is a major defense contractor for AI software and analytics for the US government. So that's a major thing. That's a major point, and a major thing that we need to actually pay attention on, to rather, from the positive angle, not necessarily from the positive angle, but just price actions that we might see. Defense stocks, oil stocks, we also expect them to be very, very strong on Monday, because this is going to really, really hamper the global supply chain of crude oil. The US is a major supplier of crude oil, a major producer, having perhaps the largest reserve. Iran is a major producer, although they've been under sanction, but a whole lot of the destruction and the displacement of logistics and supply chain activities, in the Strait of Hormuz, and a whole lot of risk around the movement of oil tankers across those regions, in the ocean, might actually really hamper how the flow of oil products, or even crude oil itself, might actually be able to move across the world. So we expect the likes of BP, the likes of Chevron, a whole lot of oil contractors, supply chain providers in the oil industry. We expect their stocks to actually go up, because they might actually be under strain to even keep up with a whole lot of demand that they need to actually fulfill. We also expect a whole lot of other contractors that actually work with the U.S. Department of War. These are not necessarily the defense contractors. These are consulting and other security support. We expect them to actually see a major bump, but we expect the financial services sector to really be hit hard, because this is going to affect global finance. This is going to affect global markets, and when there is war, there is a whole lot of tension in the economy, inflation. We also expect U.S. Treasury note to actually really go up, because inflation, all of these wars have to be paid for. The U.S. doesn't necessarily have unending resources to actually pay for this. This is actually going to affect the inflation target. And do we actually even hope that we are going to get a rate cut? It is not likely going to be the case, because this is going to really bump up the price of goods and services in the medium to short term. We expect this to be de-escalated. We want this to be de-escalated, but as investors, you need to be prepared. And on Monday, we expect the market to actually react. We'll do other updates as we get more information, as this actually unfold. The US, Iran, war has now happened, and we as investors need to actually be prepared to know how we position ourselves. And that's why we started stockerteam.com to really guide everyone. So go to stockerteam.com and become a member for just $10 per share per quarter, and you should be able to get access to top line guidance, coaching on how to build long-term and sustainable portfolio. So this is just the first update. We'll be bringing more to you. Take care and bye-bye.